Yo, yo, RX back with another weight class overview. I guess is that what we're calling it still? I don't know. This time we are doing the light heavyweights going into 2026. We back with another weight class. This one, if you think middleweight was bad, you've not seen nothing yet. Yeah, light heavyweight. Oh boy. A shallow weight class. It's gonna be easy. And if you think I called most of the fighters in middleweight shit, you've seen nothing yet. Yeah, light heavyweight is pretty bad. Not heavyweight bad, but it's not far from being. They have a few decent prospects, but overall it's pretty bad. A pretty bad weight class. Top 15 is stronger than the last few, more than likely, at least in some areas. But yeah, it's just not a good weight class in the simplest sense of the word. So, yeah. But you know, we make do. Yeah, well, it might not be a 9-hour long video, so can't complain there. And yeah, let's see how this goes. Get ready for a lot of fighters to get called garbage, like the middleweights. So that should be fun. And yeah, not really too much else to say there. Pretty simple. Not much to really add. It's light heavyweight. What am I meant to say? Has it been a... It's not... It's an okay weight class. It's just not deep. It's just not a deep weight class in terms of prospects and unranked guys. Let's be honest. I think, let's say there's 20 unranked guys in the division. You could cut 15 of them. So, yeah, any from the top 15 is kind of but you know, whatever. You know what we're getting as we get higher in weight classes, and this ain't even the worst of it yet, because we're of course got heavyweight tomorrow. Oh boy! So, you know, kind of just gotta get through this and get to that, and then get done with those, and we get to strawweights, which are much better. You know, you just gotta get through the bad to get to the good, so let's do just that, shall we? Before I do, the final thing I'll say is, as always, the normal YouTube bullshit, which is, as always, of course, please like, comment, and subscribe to yourself a goal by the end of 2026. As always, if I'm going to say something which I don't believe I am, light heavyweight. Oh boy. Yeah, I think I hit the nail on the head with everything. The YouTube bullshit. Talk about heavyweight being ass. I think we can start. See no reason not to. That's not. We've already done fucking upwards of 10 hours in the first 6 weight classes. And that's not adding more than like an hour and a half here, or maybe 2, but I'd be fucking amazed. So let's do it. Not much else to say. Light heavyweight. You ready? I know I'm not, but this is an easy weight class. Let's do it. Beginning with the, as of right now, champion. Even though it seems like any day now he's going to be vacating. We have the current hunted at 205. The champion, the Shama champion, who again seems like he's going to be vacating any day now. The one, the only, Alex Pereira. Yeah, this kind of feels silly talking about him here, because I think we all kind of know the worst hidden secret in the UFC right now is Pereira's going to vacate and go up to heavyweight. So, you know, great. If that does happen, which looks entirely likely, then that's a whole different story about Pereira. It seems like him staying at 205 is unlikely. He doesn't want to do that, and he wants the heavyweight fight. So, fuck it. I guess he's gonna be a heavyweight, before we know it. Which is, I'm not upset about. Would I like to see him fight Olberg? Yeah. Am I upset about it? Not really. he's gonna get the Jones fight after a quick win at heavyweight, and that is what it is. So that's the business. Nothing too shocking there. What else is there ready to be said? If he were to stay at light heavyweight, I think we hold that belt for a minute. He already got rid of Ank. He already beat Yuri 100 times. He would beat Olberg. So, but he wants a challenge. He wants that third belt, the most any fighter's ever had. Fuck it, why not? So that's gonna be. So I guess I don't have to ask if he's still gonna be champion by the end of the year, because he's on purpose not going to be. So yeah, so crazy, but fuck it, it's PR. Are you ever shocked anymore? He just showed up to beat Ank real quick and then fucked off. I respect that, and yeah. So have a light heavyweight. Looks like his career is pretty much over, and that belt's gonna be someone else's very soon. But at heavyweight, see how far he can go. Much needed to add to that division that has nothing at the moment, and see what happens. Not really much more to say. Now let's talk about the 15 men who are chasing, I guess, pretty much the vacant belt, if we're being honest, because we already know Piera is not going to be the champion, there by probably the end of January, at the end of the man he took the belt from, the man who will not be fighting for the vacant belt. We already know who that will be, but probably the man who will fight the winner of that fight, the number 1 ranked former champion, Little Ank Magomed Ankalaev. Why is Piera running from a trilogy? Fucking stupid. Yeah, not really much to say about Ank coming off that embarrassing Piera loss where he got beaten seconds. Yeah, more than likely he's gonna fight the winner of Yuri Alberg for the belt, I would imagine. I don't see him taking or getting a fight that is not a title fight. I'd be a little shocked by that, to be honest. I just don't really see that happening. I see him probably being the backup and fighting the winner of Yuri Olberg, and that makes sense. So, does he win those fights? Probably not. But he's boring, and he knows how to make shit boring, so we'll see. Not really too much else to say there. This Little Ank. No one talks about him anymore since the loss, which is fucking hilarious. And again, pretty much he's just going to be waiting for the winner of Yuri Alberg, more than likely. So he's never going to get a title rematch against Alex, and he's definitely going to be fighting for the vacant belt. So very simple. Probably more than likely fighting the winner of Yuri Alberg. Speak of one of those two men, we have the number 2 ranked former champion. So it seems like a few people in this division have held the belt now. And we have everyone's favorite light heavyweight, maybe just fighter in general. We have the number 2 ranked former champ who might be a 2-time champ in this division if he can beat Alberg soon. We have everyone's favorite, mine included, in this division, Yuri Prochazka. What is there to really say about Yuri? We all love him. He's a fucking psychopath, one of the most exciting fighters. I would say easily the most exciting fighter in the heavier weight classes. Never has had a boring fight. Pure entertainment. Who doesn't love him? He's the happiest, man. That Pierre is... Jesus. He's the happiest that Pierre is going up to heavyweight because you don't have to lose to him again. Not like that fight would have happened anyway. But still, yeah. I'm pretty much just waiting for the Alberg fight to get booked and see if Yuri can get the second belt. Would everyone just say he never beat Alex? Yeah. But it's like, whatever. Yuri's great. Yuri's fucking phenomenal. And we'll see if he can get past Alberg and get a second belt, and then if he can get past Ankalaev, or if he can even beat Alberg, like I said. So we'll see. He's just waiting for his interim title fight to get booked, more than likely. I think we all are waiting for that, or not interim, the vacant title fight to get booked. Should have been on the Volkanovski card, because I made that card much better. Well, whatever. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Not really, too much else to say there. Who doesn't love Yuri? See if he can get the belt back with Pierre going up and vacating. See if he can beat Alberg. we're all gonna be cheering for him because who doesn't love Yuri? But speaking of the man who's gonna be fighting Yuri for the vacant belt, we got the number 3 ranked Aussie, who again, why did he not get put on the vote card in the co-main to make that card not ass? Oh yeah, because they hate the Australians. We have the number 3 ranked, the other man fighting for the vacant belt, he against Yuri with Pierre Aragon, the man who would have been up next to fight for the belt if Pierre stayed, but you know, Pierre has better things to do. Now he's going to be fighting Yuri for the vacant belt with the number 3 ranked Carlos Ulberg. We're gonna find out if this kid's legit. We're gonna really find out if this kid's legit. He's not bad. Like, is he the most exciting? No. I look at him a lot. He fights a lot like Adesanya, which for better and for mainly worse. Obviously he got that nice Reyes knockout, which was really good. He's well-rounded. He's been able to go 3 rounds. He had good power. Not really in the grappling. A little bit, I believe, against Da Woon Jung, which that looked fine. But Da Woon Jung, yeah, dude's really decent. We're gonna really find out if he's legit or not against Yuri. Of course, the one blemish everyone can say against him is the fucking Nzechukwu loss in his debut. So, which I agree. But I think at that point he's only like 5-0 in his MMA career. Yeah, and then I get people say, he lost to Jan. No, he didn't. He didn't. That fight was awful, but he still clearly won. So, I don't know. I don't dislike Ulberg, but I'm not a fan either. I think he's good. He deserves a title shot, and Yuri's going to be a really intriguing fight. And it could be a lot like the Nzechukwu fight. You get to brought into a war that he can't survive. So, we'll see if that holds true, and see what happens. Not much else to say. The most unproven of, I guess, the higher ranked light heavyweights. Everyone else kind of older, held the belt, or again proven himself to be a top guy. Ulberg again has the wins of Reyes, Jan, but he's still a little bit unproven. So we'll see if he can prove himself, get that belt, and see where he goes from there. Can he bring CKB their 3rd championship? Find out. Dude's pretty good. Let's see if he's legit. See if he can beat Yuri. Not much else to say. Speaking of beating Yuri, a man who failed to in his last fight, but with no effort, or with no doubt of trying to, they have the very good number 4 ranked light heavyweight, another man that's always must-watch TV, the very exciting number 4 ranked Khalil Roundtree. Yeah, what is there really to say about Khalil? Like, and this goes back to my point a minute ago about the proven guys in the division, like Yank and Yuri are proven former champs. Khalil's a proven, like he's a veteran. He's a proven veteran top guy. We all remember the Pierre fight when he took him to his limit, how easily he beat Jamal, how he was actually winning into Yuri and then got knocked out. Does his record look pretty bad when you really look back over it? Yes. But has he kind of pretty much just hit his prime in the last couple years? Yeah. In the last couple years, like, he's in his mid-30s, and weirdly out of nowhere, he's at his prime. Beat Dawkins, beat Smith, gave Pierre his best fight up to that moment. Jamal, he destroyed. So, he's really just hitting his fucking prime now, and he's easily one of the top guys in the division. Is he gonna win the belt? No. Obviously, Yuri beat him. Ulberg probably would beat him. And Goliath would probably beat him. But outside of those guys, Khalil would beat Jan. He would beat Walker and Reyes and all that. And he's really fucking solid. He's a very good fighter. Don't know how much longer he can go, especially with the damage he's taken just in the Pierre and Yuri fight. But 3 or 4 more really fun Khalil fights. I don't think anyone would be opposed to that. And see where he goes from there. Hopefully he gets a fight booked soon. I know October was not that long ago, but maybe for like March, April, even May. I think him and Murzakanov would be a banger. So let's run that. That'd be a perfect test for Murzakanov. Good fight for Khalil to try and get back on track. Would be a great fight night main event. let's run it. But if not, well, maybe Khalil fights Yan. I wouldn't be shocked at that either, so see what happens. Khalil won the better in the division. I would say with Pierre gone, he's the fourth best in the division now, or soon to be gone. And let's see what happens, see how much longer he can hold on to that positioning, and go from there. So not really much else to say. He's very good, and yeah, I guess he's truly at his prime at 35. How weird. Speaking of former champs, let's get to the number 5 rank to close out the top 5. The very old, and unlucky. Old and unlucky. I guess that's the best way. If I had to describe Blachowicz in 2 words, those would be them. Next, the number 5 ranked, another former champion in the division. This one the longest ago, 4 or 5 years ago, back in the fucking pandemic. We have the very old and unlucky Jan Blachowicz. He's the oldest in the division and one of the oldest in the UFC. I think, is he older? I think he's the same age as Wonderboy, or maybe a year younger. 42 years old. The funny thing, he still got it though. We saw a few weeks ago in that Gushkov fight, or a month ago. He looked good. Was the draw the correct score? Yes. Like, trust me, I would like to see Jan win that too. But we can be honest, that was the right score. Like, everyone says, oh, he's been so robbed lately. Let's look over his last couple fights. So, he loses to Glover, Bradchuk, that probably should be a no contest due to injury, but okay. Ankalaev, he should have lost that. Piera, he probably should have won that. Alberg, he lost that. Gushkov was the right score. So, the only one here I can call bullshit is this one. And that was debatable. Yeah, Jan probably should have won. But then you could say the same thing, Ank should have won this one. So, I don't think Jan's as unlucky as people say. And in terms of decisions, I just think maybe in the fight against Glushkov he got unlucky because he let himself get dropped and manhandled for 4 minutes in round 2. So I think he can only really blame himself for that one, and see where he goes from here. He didn't take a loss, but when is he going to fucking get back in there, try and get another win? So I'll say he doesn't need to retire yet. Probably not far from it though. I would say 2 or 3 fights at most left, and he's not gonna be champion again. We know that, but he's still decent. Do I think he's still the, let's just say 5th? Do I think he's the 5th best light heavyweight? No, but is he still at top 7? Yeah. Easily. I think he would lose to all the guys we've talked about already, but guys under him, I'm trying to think who, maybe the younger guys, like Navajo Sterling would be able to beat him, because they're just younger and faster, but he would easily beat Volkan and Jamal and Walker, more than likely. So he still got it. He's still one of the best fighters in the division, even at 42 and on the doorstep of retirement. He's still got it. He's old, a bit unlucky in terms, and I'm intrigued to see where they go from next. Probably not going to see him for most of 2026 because he did just fight in the end of December or beginning of December. And as he's gotten older, he's not been the most active, so more than likely, I would be shocked if we see him as early as the summer, July, August. More than likely, maybe September, October, November. So let's see where he goes from there. Still in the top 5. Still pretty decent, and we'll see where it goes from here. So not really much else to say. We'll see how much longer unlucky Jan has, and yeah, he still got it. He's still really good. A bit unlucky, but again, that Glushkov decision was the correct score, and see if Jan can get back into the win column finally sooner than later. So been too long. He probably did beat Pereira. I think he needs to get back in the win column already. See if he can. 126. Next, we leave the top 5, but number 6 is very terrifying in this division. I think a lot of guys in this division might want to be keeping an eye on this guy. As we have the number 6 ranked, probably top 5 in 2026, and maybe in fighting for a belt, the very good and maybe overlooked in the division at the moment, even though people are talking about him more, he probably is still a little overlooked. We have the number 6 ranked, undefeated, very good, Azamat Murzakanov. Like, I'm happy people are starting to talk about Azamat more, but it still doesn't feel like enough. Like, this dude, with Pierre gone, he could sneak his way into holding the belt. I think it's unlikely, but dude, the dude's talented as fuck. The dude is really good. Like, would Hank beat him? Maybe. Yuri beat him? Maybe. Khalil beat him? I might pick Azamat that, just because Azamat's that good, and Alberg, more than likely. But that'd be a phenomenal fight right there. All of those would be good fights, and I hope he gets one of those. He would beat Jan, just because, again, Jan is getting older and could lose to guys who are better than him. And Murzakanov is really good, and I know Murzakanov is old, that's why I think he's 38 or some shit. 36, but dude's really good. Coming out with that quick Ratchik win, which who didn't know he was gonna win that fight easily. Ratchik is shit. Yeah, Murzakanov is really fucking good. And I think 2026 is going to be a make or break year for him. Either he's going to get 1 or 2 wins and fight for a title, or he's going to fight and maybe get fraud checked by a guy like a Khalil or an Ankalaev, a Yuri, etc. So, we'll see which one happens. I think it's going to be going into 2027. Either Murzakanov is going to be coming off his first career loss, or he's going to be in title talks, if not maybe coming off a title fight, or something or fighting for the belt in 2027. So, I think it's going to be interesting to see how his year goes. I think he's kind of the dark horse of the division, and he's really good. Keep an eye on him. I get none of his wins are really that great. Like, Jacoby and Ratchet are probably the best names on it, but dude's pretty fucking good, and I think he's a real problem in the division, so see how long it takes for anyone to beat him, if they can. He's short, he's old, dude's just really fucking good. See how long Murzakanov can keep going. I'm gonna just say there, the dark horse of the division. From the dark horse of the division to the joke of the division, let's get this idiot out the way now. Joanna Jędrzejczyk's bitch, the number 7 ranked, don't know how he's still ranked, former champion somehow, the terrible fat joke that is Jamal Hill. Love a good hate watch. Yeah, fuck Jamal Hill. This dude's a fucking joke. Joanna made him his bitch. Yeah, he sucks. Not much to say. I've said it before and I'll say it again, not even like trying to be funny, he really should go to heavyweight. He's getting older, he is a fat dude, we can just admit he's fat, he's out of shape. I think he should go to heavyweight, I think it would help him. That division is so garbage, he probably could be top 15 easily, and that'd be the best route for him, but if he wants to keep getting embarrassed at light heavy, sure, I have no issue saying it. He's gonna lose again because he's not good, and not very much else to say. Dude's a fucking bum, and he barks louder than he bites, and we know how much he bites because look at his fat fuck. So not very much else to say. Dude's the joke of the division for a reason. Joanna's a bitch. Next, we got probably I don't know what the best way to describe this guy in the division. Kind of just the guy who's there, who's always just been there in the division. The guy who you never really think of when you think of light heavyweight, but he's always been like in the same position forever. The number 8 ranked, perfectly average fighter, Volkan Oezdemir. Fucking how long has Volkan been in top 15? Like, you never think of him as a top guy, and you never think of him as a can, because you never think of him. He's always just been like the most mid-tier guy in the division. Is he good enough to be in top 5? No. Is he shit enough to be like 15 through 11? Not really. He's always like in that 10 to 7 range. And I swear for as long as I can remember, he's always been right in that range. that's a perfect he's the measuring stick of the division. If you can beat him, then yeah, you're probably gonna be pretty decent. If you can't beat him, then yeah, you're probably not that good. So, that guy just holds true with his last few fights. He beat Menefield. Menefield's not good. He lost to Alberg. Alberg is really good. He beat Johnny. Johnny ain't good. So, he's perfectly mid. He's a guy who you're never going to think about, never going to main event, never going to be in title talks, but he's never going to lose a few in a row and get cut, never going to lose to a can. He knows how to win fights against bad fighters, can't beat the better guys. Somehow he fought DC back in the day for the belt, and not really much else to say, so yeah, the guy who you never think of in the division, kind of the gatekeeper of the division. He's just there. Not really much else to say. You're never gonna think of Volkan after this video until he gets a fight booked, and you're not gonna think about him after that fight until he gets another fight booked. So, pretty simple. I like to say, you're never gonna think of Volkan, man. Better keep it that way. Next. Speaking of former champs, let's look at one more. I think the last one in this division. We have Jon Jones' daddy at number 9, another former champion who's fallen from grace more than any of the other ones. Actually, no, he's still better than Jamal. We have the number 9 ranked former champ who was actually in the first fight book 2026. Jon Jones' daddy at number 9, Dominic Reyes. I really did enjoy the Dominic Reyes revenge tour he had for 3 fights against Tomato Can. Well, actually 2 Tomato Cans and Dustin Jacoby, who was mid, and then Alberg sent him back down to reality. Yeah, it's hard not to cheer for Reyes, because obviously he beat Jones and all that, but, his chin's just shot, he's gotten older. More than likely he wins this next fight, I think. He was in part of the first fight book this year against Johnny Walker in, I think March or April? I think April. That's a winnable fight for him, the battle of whose fucking chin goes first. Yeah, Reyes, I'm happy again, I am happy Dom did get back on track, win a few in a row, and all that, but yeah, he's never gonna get back in the title talks he was never gonna beat Alberg, he was never gonna beat Yuri in a rematch, Ankalaev, even Roundtree would beat the shit out of him, Murzakanov would beat the shit out of him. He's the 9th or 8th best guy in the division, but that's his ceiling at this point. His chin's complete glass, and his skill set's never really been the deepest. He's good, but God, how shit is Jon Jones that he lost to Reyes. Yeah, Reyes probably should beat Walker, but at the same time, who fucking knows of Dom? Bro, it's almost impossible to not cheer for him. I think most of us do, but again, time has really not helped him. That chin is weak, and the division has kind of got better since he was at the top of it. There's better guys than Anthony Smith and Thiago Santos, and yeah, Dom just really is not a top guy anymore. He's still good. He's still a top 10 guy, but he's not top 5 or ever touching the belt again. So he still won it. He still beat Jones, but outside of that, it's just, yeah, he's peaked and now he's came back down to earth. Very Cody Garbrandt-esque, I would say, where he peaked in a fight he wasn't meant to win, but he did, and ever since he won that belt, it's just from L after L. At least he went on a winning streak. Garbrandt can't even do that, but you know, he was a former champ. He is still decent, but yeah, time has just kind of, the division started to pass him by more and more, it seems. So see how much longer he can stay in it. Next, we end the top 10 with, speaking of the man who had that draw with Jan, let's talk about him. Another very decent fighter in the division before we get to the shit of the top 15 in this division. The number 10 ranked, very decent, and looked much better in his last fight than anyone really thought he would. The number 10 ranked Bogdan Gushkov. Gushkov is decent, he really is. Again, he looked better in that Jan fight than I think anyone thought he would. Being able to get a draw there was impressive. Drop Jan, a guy who not many people have actually hurt. I don't even know who the last person that actually even hurt Jan was. But Gushkov dropped him, almost finished him, beat it to 10-8. Dude's decent. Do I think he's again do I think he's a top tier level prospect or something? No. Like Murzakanov would beat him easily. Like Gushkov's skill set is not the deepest outside of just hitting really hard. He has gotten better. Like since that Volkan L in his debut on short nose, he has gotten better. Cardio looks decent, grappling's alright, striking's good. He's gotten better, but I think his ceiling is about where he is now, top 10. Ceiling maybe being number 7. Like he'd beat Jamal, he'd probably beat Reyes, be able to knock him out. Me and a Volkan rematch, I'd be 50-50. But Khalil would beat him, obviously Jan, we saw what happened there, a draw, which not a bad thing. Madjad made the best outcome for Gushkov. And yeah, he looked good in that fight, really showed he can hang with better fighters, and I'm very intrigued to see what they do with Gushkov now after that draw. Do you have him fight up again, but against Jamal? Or do you have him fight down to get a win before you give him another fight up? So, I don't know, I'm very intrigued to see what they do with him. Very decent fighter. Top 10 in the division for sure level, but again, bottom of the top 10, not top 5 level. Again, would beat Jamal and Reyes, but outside of those guys, he'd probably lose to the rest. But, again, I said he was going to lose to Jan pretty soundly, and I don't know if that's soundly, but I was decently confident Jan should win that. Gushkov gave him a hell of a fight, and they would make it a draw, so it was pretty decent at the end of the day, and see how far he can go. Not really much else to say there. Coming off that draw, we'll see if he can go up or down from there. Not really much else to say. Speaking of going down, oh god, has this man fell off from his days of being a hyped up guy in the division. We have the number 11 ranked, and that's when we get to the shit end of the top 15 with mainly cans. We have the very overrated, I don't know why people see hype in this guy, the number 11 ranked Alexander Rakic. What a fall from grace. He had so much hype. Had so much hype after the fucking Jimmy Manuwa win, Rakic and Santos and Smith wins, and blows out his knee against Jan. Yuri beats him, Ank beats him, Murzakanov beats him. I think he should get cut, but if they're gonna give him one more fight, sure. If you want to embarrass him one more time, sure. He's washed. How old is he? I think he's 33 on the dot. He's just not that good. I really don't think he's that good at all. I think there's unranked guys better. We'll talk about the guy in a little bit, but Bukauskas would wipe the floor for Rakic, and Gushkov would. This guy's just not that good. I don't really see why anyone saw crazy hype in him. He was never going to beat Murzakanov. He was never going to beat Ankalaev. He was never going to beat Yuri. He's just not that good. Can you blame it on a knee injury? Sure. But I remember the Santos and Smith fight. They were boring. He didn't look good. He won. He didn't look good. So, I don't think much of this guy. I think he'll be cut in 2026 because he's going to lose again and then get cut if he doesn't get cut already. And they're just waiting to do it. So, let him go to PFL. Let him go job out to Nemkov and move on. What else is there to really say? Just not that fucking good. Pretty simple. I thought he was overrated. I picked Murzakanov to beat him pretty soundly. He did. I just don't think this guy's that good. Never really did. And, yeah, I think he'll probably be gone by the end of the year unless they feed him a super can that he can beat. Which, you can give him Menafield or Zhang, who actually might beat him. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna give Rakic so he can win a fight. That when he's number 11, you can't give a tomato can a fucking ranking opportunity. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think he's gonna be gone next year because he's not that good and he's gonna lose again. But time will tell. Maybe he can bounce back. But mentality of a guy who's not that good. Speaking of fighters who are not that good, let's get to maybe the definition of that in this division. The very untalented, but somehow finds a way to win fights on accident, and is entertaining, so I guess that helps. Number 12 ranked, not even the best member of his family anymore, which is crazy to think about. Johnny Walker. Well, we can confirm Volter is much better. Yeah, what am I meant to say about Johnny Walker? Is he good at all? No. Not one fucking bit is he good. Does he accidentally win fights from time to time? Yeah, pretty much. Like, Zhang is garbage. He was not meant to win that fight. He accidentally did. Fucking, before then he was getting his ass handed to him by Volkan and Ankalaev. The dude's not good. It's that simple. Probably should have been a heavyweight by now, but if his chin sucks here, it'd suck even more there. And what else is there to say? Maybe he can beat Reyes. If he does, well, what does that really do for him outside of getting him back in the top 10 just to get killed by a better fighter? And, yeah, outside of just being perfect for a meme-worthy knockout, dude's not good. It's that simple, so... Yeah, not like I don't mind. I enjoy watching Johnny Walker fight because he's entertaining and not good. But again, hey, Volter is so much better. We can just be honest, Johnny's not good. So, pretty simple shit there. Not really much else to add. Maybe he can beat Reyes in April. Unlikely, but who fucking knows? Double knockout. And yeah, I'm not really sure what else to say. What else am I meant to say about Johnny Walker, of all people? Speaking of fighters who fell off as badly as Ratchik, this one was someone I was high on, but then fell off tremendously and is about to have his last UFC fight in a few weeks. The very washed and another guy who's going to be cut by the end of 2026, probably by the end of January 2026, number 13 ranked Nikita Krylov. Yeah, what the fuck happened to this guy? He looked like he was decent at one point, and then he came back after a long layout, after no one knew where the fuck he was for 2 years, and got sparked out by Reyes, sparked out by Gushkov, and is about to get sparked out by Bukauskas in a few weeks. Yeah, he is done. He's washed. I think he's 34? 33, 34. Yeah, he's done. He would have had better days. He did look like a decent prospect at one. Not prospect, decent, like, top 10 guy. But since coming back, he's looked slow, old, washed. And not saying he's losing to bad competition. Reyes was decent. Gushkov's good. Buka, if he loses to Buka, that's understandable. But it's like... Yeah, this dude seemed like he was much better than a streak like this, but I guess not. Yeah, he should be cut after the Buka loss, and yeah, not really much else to say there. Just like Ratchik, another guy who's kind of fell off from being decent. I think Krylov was better than Ratchik ever was. And, yeah, I think he'll be joining Ratchik on the release line sooner than later in 2026. Unless they both make crazy comebacks out of nowhere, which I doubt. Next, oh god, let's get these last two awful names out the way now. And we have the number 14 ranked fraud. Oh, goddamn, Dana, you tried. You really tried to have a good Chinese male fighter, and it failed in every which way humanly fucking possible. The number 14 ranked fraud, Zhang Mingyang. Yeah, I remember when this guy was like the hot shit in the division. Good times. Yeah, you got your ass beat by Johnny Walker. Enough said. Yeah, dude sucks. Pretty self-explanatory. You got your ass beat by Johnny Walker. So, what else am I meant to say? Dude's a fraud. They might give him a layup on that August card. More than likely. If they give him a legit fight, he's gonna get his ass beat. And actually, if they want to give Ratchik a win, actually, Zhang would probably win that fight. So never mind. Yeah, dude sucks. Fraud. Again, you got beat by Johnny Walker in your home country. You fucking suck. Next. And then finally a man who I don't know how he still finds a way to stay ranked, but he does. The king of fluking wins and getting ranked to end the top 15 on a very weak note. The number 15 ranked some fucking how. Alonzo Menafield. How the fuck is this guy ranked? Oh yeah, because he had two very debatable decisions against bad, undefeated guys. Yeah, Menfield's shit. I don't need to tell you anything you don't already know. This dude's fucking garbage. Like, he's one of the worst ranked fighters in the UFC. There's not even a debate about it. Again, he got so lucky that he got to fight Julius Walker, who's ass, and Omar Sy, who's ass. It's still debatable if he won either of those fucking fights. They were so terrible. Yeah, for some reason he's super old, you know, you wouldn't expect it. He's 39, I think. So, yeah. But not like he can get worse, because he's not good. So, Volkan beat him easily. He'll probably lose his next fight. Hopefully retire, get cut, or Valley get out of the top 15 sooner than later. And, yeah, he fucking sucks. I don't have much else to say. No idea how he's ranked. Even Zhang is a more understandable ranking. And, yeah, one of the worst ranked fighters in the UFC. It's better than Tuivasa and Chandler, but that's a very low bar. And, yeah, how the fuck is he ranked? And there you go, that's the top 15. Not great, some decent names, like obviously top 5 is really good, one of the better top 5s, any of top 6s, and then you got crap, mid, decent, okay, decent, crap. This is just pathetic. Hopefully this completely changes in 2026, but I think at least 2 will, maybe 3. So, we'll see. And then obviously we're not going to have, this guy's going to be in a different weight class in another week or 2, so, you know, great. And, yeah, is it the best rankings we've talked about in a while? Maybe. Like, it doesn't have as many cans as welterweight or middleweight and or even lightweight, so maybe rankings are a little bit stronger, but still not great. And it's light heavyweight, what is there to say? So, a really strong top 6, everything else is kinda a few, 1 or 2 decent names for like a lot of bad in there. At least they're bad as close to the bottom of the division instead of in the fucking top 5 of it. And, yeah, not really much else to say. But that's not all. That's the top 15 done. Let's look at all the guys chasing their way to get in the top 15 in 2026, shall we? I say we shall. So let's do just, why are we so zoomed out? There we go, much better. Let's take a look at who we got first. We talked about Bumditch at middleweight, so wow, that's actually a perfect way to start. A guy who will be ranked in the top 15 in a few weeks after he beats Krylov. Let's make sure I didn't skip over anybody. Oh, I didn't. So let's begin with the very good, out of nowhere, the rare time I will say, bringing back a fighter has actually worked. The future top 15 ranked in a few weeks after beating Krylov, Modestas Bukauskas. Yeah, this is the rare time that bringing back a fighter has actually worked, because out of nowhere, this guy's actually good. I know that's really weird, but yeah, out of nowhere, this dude's good. Like, we all remember he sucked. He got cut all those years ago, was pretty terrible, lost to, like, mid-competition, but still lost, got his knee bent backwards. But then, took a few years off, came back in 2023, and is, 6-1? Beat Pedro, which ain't saying a lot. Pounded, which ain't even less. Petrino knocking you out is bad, but fine. I think Petrino was still somewhat okay. And cracking out free win. A lot of people think he lost this, and then free win. So has he kind of been can crushing to an extent, but even for his standards, that's better than what he was doing before. Yeah. Now he's gonna easily beat Krylov and get in top 15. dude's decent. Do I think he's gonna do much in top 15? Probably not. Maybe he could squeak a win out against he would beat Jamal and Johnny and fucking Ratchik, but like Reyes would more than likely beat him. Gushko would beat him. So Volkan probably would beat him. So, but still, to be ranked in a few weeks, better than I would have ever thought for this guy. And again, he's decent. What if that's 5 in a row? 4 in a row and 3 by knockout, so 4 in a row, 3 by knockout. Gonna be ranked in a few weeks, adding another knockout to the list. The best unranked light heavyweight at the moment, and he ain't gonna be unranked much longer. What else is there to say? No rare time they bring someone back that actually worked. I can say I was wrong in some regard, but I guess it does work, and yeah, see how far Buka can go in run 2 in the UFC. So far good. See if he can keep it up. Next, talk about him with middleweight. Okay, actually we get another one of the actual decent names we have. One of the few decent names we have out of the way early. We have another guy, I would say, part of the top 20 best unranked guys in the division. Even though he's not really top 15 ranked, he's definitely top 20 ranked level. We got one of the few decent unranked fighters. Another one of them, I guess, Dustin Jacoby. Yeah, Jacoby's had a weird run, ups and downs, back on a nice high. We'll see how he does against Jim Crew in a few weeks. I don't know how to predict that fight. Had a few lows. He did beat Khalil a few years ago, which is insane. But yeah, outside of that, not some very mid-career, 9-6 in the UFC, 37 years old. Still, for how awful light heavyweight is, he is still one of the better unranked ones. I'd say probably 19th or 18th best unranked guy at the moment. He's decent. Again, we'll see how he does against Jimmy Crew. Logic says he probably should win, but Jacoby, I've never been one to really abide by logic. Again, he lost to Alonzo Menafield somehow, just turn around and fucking school Petrino out of nowhere. So, and Reyes beat you to get his first win in years. So, yeah, Jacoby's pretty mid. If he was in like even middleweight, he'd probably be like top 30 in division. He's not the greatest, but for like heavyweight standards, he's not that bad. So, not really much else to say there. Decent fighter. See how he does against Crew in a few weeks. And yeah, again, for light heavyweight standards, one of the better ones. Pretty simple. Next. Talk about him with middleweight. Oh god, I just talked about him a few weeks ago. Speaking of frauds in this division, not gonna say much here because I talked about this guy a month or two ago, and more than likely he's gonna be cut before he even fights in the UFC again. We have the guy who started 2025 at 14-0, or 14-1, and one of the better prospects in the division, and is now ending it at 14-4 on a 3-fight skid, and probably deserving to get cut. We have the complete fraud, Ibo Aslan. You know, I really struggled to find someone who had a worse year than Ibo. I forget who was the other guy we talked about who had like 3 losses in the year. But yeah, Ibo was another one of them. Again, entering the year on a fucking undefeated streak, looking like one of the better prospects in the division. Just to end the year on a 3-fight skid. Let's be honest, you didn't lose to anyone good. Ibo's okay. These are not that great. It's like, what the fuck happened? But I guess I guess writing was on the wall to an extent. He didn't look that good against Turkali. And I guess eventually he was gonna get fraud checked. But it's like, dude, you're Iancu Chilapa, Billy Alagana. Yeah, fraud. What was there to say? I think he should get cut. They might give him one more fight just because light heavyweight is shallow as book. But he'll probably lose it because he's not good and get cut there. So not really much else to say. Crazy. Well, maybe the worst year a fighter had in 2025. Him or, again, I forget who was the other guy who won on like a 3-fight skid. Oh, Marvin Vittori, who had a worse 2025. for you to debate, but actually I might say, I think Evo probably looked better in a few of his fights than Vittori did, so, yeah, terrible year, probably should get cut, and, I don't know what else to say. After that, oh god, actually, we all know who had a bad 2025, the guy who became a complete joke in the fucking promotion after one of his fights. We got the actor of 2025, the winner of the Aljamain Sterling Award for 2025. I got him not gonna wait any time because he doesn't fucking deserve it, and I don't respect him at all. The actor himself, Rodolfo Bellato. We all know what he did this year against Paul Craig, doing that best acting performance. Yeah, congrats on winning the Aljamain Sterling Award for the year. You're a fucking tomato can. No one should have any respect for you, because I know I don't. You're an acting little bitch, not a fighter, and can't wait to see you lose more. Should have been cut on the spot after that shit, but, is what it is. You suck. Good. You little acting bitch. Next, no need to waste time on non-fighters. Well, Jesus Christ, this is not the greatest name in the world. Actually, it might be the worst. Yeah, I don't know how this guy. Actually, I swear he did get cut. I swear he got cut. But since I know one or two guys on this list have, but I'm not 100% sure if he has yet. So I'll say a quick piece on him, but more than likely he's already cut. We have the worst light heavyweight maybe of all time, Rafael Cerqueira. That's impressive to probably be the worst light heavyweight of all time. Yeah, to get bitched out in 4 fights against up and down competition. One of the worst fighters I've ever seen. Again, probably the worst light heavyweight of all time. Probably already cut, like I said. There's no way they give him another fight. And, yeah, he's fucking terrible. Next, he signed to the UFC 11-0, and at 11-4, jobbed out to everyone. Yeah, not much else to say there. You suck. Next, one Tapology would like to load. And did I not hit the back page? There we go. No, Tapology being stupid. There we go. Next. Okay, speak of the devil, let's talk about Dustin Jacoby's opponent in a few weeks. I'm not sold on him being back, but, wins are wins. He's still up in the air how good he is. The second best Aussie in the division, which is a weird award to have. Jimmy Crute. Crute, it's good that he was able to bounce back in 2025 and get some wins, but it's still kind of debatable on how good he is, if he's really back, because he beat Marcin Prachnio and Ivan Ursulin. Most people could beat those tomato cans, and not like he came back and looked good against anyone legit, so, and again he went to a draw with Rodolfo Bellato, so, if he can beat Jacoby, especially look good doing it, then yeah, more than likely he's back. But it's also like, can you do that? Actually, what are the picks for that fight? I'm really intrigued. There's a few weeks out. What are people picking for that? Crute, okay, I get it, but I don't know how much I agree with it. Again, if he can win that, then okay, maybe he is better and back, but I have my doubts about a guy who has only been able to get a win when he's fought Marcin Prachnio and Ivan Ursulin, so, But, yeah, again, happy he bounced back in 2025, and, see if he's really back or not against Jacoby in a few weeks. We'll see. Not really much else to add. We'll see if he's back or not. I haven't shown it yet, because he hasn't beat anyone good to say he's back, but we'll see in a few weeks. Not much else to say. From the mullet, we go from Mullet Gang to Angry Man. I forget this guy's even still here, to be honest. It's probably better that way. And next we have another guy who's always in the division, never really been good, but he's somehow still here. We have the very mid, annoying to predict, and angry Ion Cutelaba. I think he's already gassed by me just saying his name. Yeah, this guy has never been good, if we're being honest. He's had a moment or two of looking halfway decent, but outside of what Evo and Devin Clark and Cleo, he's never done shit. We know Ion Kucherov, he's the guy who starts fast and usually gasses if he can't finish you. He's not good. I don't know how he's only 32, and how his record is that fucking terrible. Yeah, feels he'll break even another year or two, unless he loses like 1 or 2 more in a row, which is unlikely, because they're gonna give him a tomato can like they always do. But, you know, he's, not good, so he could choke that. Again, he did lose to fucking, he lost to Felipe Lins and fucking, Ryan Span, so, yeah, I forget, I think everyone has forgot this guy's even here at this point. What was the last fight? May of last year. Yeah, he's not good. Pretty simple. He's just an angry guy with no cardio. Pretty basic, not good. Next. Okay, this is another weird one. And next we have a guy who is probably going to be on a 3-fight winning streak in a few weeks, but still, and he seems like a cool dude, but I'm not 100% sold on his talent level yet. We have the very mid so far, I would say, Billy Elecana. Billy's a weird one. Like, he debuted, looked pathetic against Guskov, but then turned around and had an Ebo fight where he didn't look good, because he didn't do anything, but Ebo didn't do anything, so they had to pick a winner, and he won. And then in the last fight, he looked very good against Kevin Christensen, who is just tall, and now he should beat Junior Taffa pretty easily, because Junior Taffa is Junior Taffa. So, you know, he's really getting a lucky hand when it comes to bad fighters. So at least we know he's not one of the worst. He can beat the worst, but will I go as far as saying he's like a top 20 guy in the division? No. He's probably like the 21st best guy in the division, but that's not saying a lot. Would he beat Buka? No. Would he beat fucking Jacoby? Probably not. Would he even beat Jimmy Crute? I probably would say no. Yeah, Valicano's fine. He can beat the worst of the worst, but I struggle to see him beating higher end guys, but maybe 9-2, 30 years old. Looked decent, but still not 100% sold on him being much, but I'm down to be proven wrong, so yeah, we'll see. Again, he should begin 2026 on a 3-fight winning streak, beating Taffa in a few weeks. After that, we'll see. Not really much else to say. A guy who I can't call great or terrible, kind of just a mid-unranked guy. So, could he enter the top 20 best this year? Yeah. Do I think he will? Doubt it, but man, who knows? I'll say right now, I think he's better than Chang Yang. And fucking, would he beat Manafield? Probably, so, you know, maybe, we'll see. We'll see what happens, Alicana. And, yeah, very, fine fighter. Not great, not bad. Perfectly fine. Very good. Yeah, it's actually rare to be in this division and not either be decent or shitty. I think that's actually respectable. Speaking of shitty, let's do our next one. And actually got a few in a row. And next we have another guy who I doubt actually is still signed to the roster and ain't just gonna get cut sooner than later. We have a terrible signing, a guy I don't think anyone actually can understand why they signed a year or so ago, because he didn't even look like he was good coming into the UFC, and he sucked even more in it. Now the terrible and most likely cut before he fights again in the UFC, Ivan Erslan. Why the fuck did they sign this guy? Like, does anyone actually know? He's coming in on a 1-1 in his last 2 record. Looked shitty against Kutalaba, looked actually his best against Sterling, and then looked awful against Crew. This guy's garbage. I'll be shocked if they give him another fight, but they did give Serkea 4 fights, so maybe they're just gonna run out his deal and have him job out one more time. Wouldn't be shocked. don't have the biggest issues with it because it's a shallow division, but also they just cut him on the spot. Well, they didn't, but if they cut him sooner than later, no one would care. Longer would do, and dude's just ass. So, not really much else to say. Why the fuck did they sign this guy? And I don't think anyone can ever actually answer that question. Next. Ooh, okay. A guy that I actually understood the signing off Contender Series, but yeah, he kinda sucks. Actually he does just kinda suck. And like, better than the other cans in the division, because this guy's fucking terrible. As next we have another guy who, like, could you say he got fraud checked in the year? You know, no one actually thought he was good to begin with. We have the understandable signing, but God, has not worked out. Bruno Lopez. Yeah, remember when this guy got clubbed out by Brenton Ribeiro? Yeah, this guy's not that good at all. Like, Ribeiro beat him a few years ago when he was actually super hyped up. I believe that's like one of the big Contender Series upsets of all time. And then came back to Contender Series against the Can. Won. They need light heavyweight, so you get signed. And then it seems like his UFC career in 2025 was literally doing everything the UFC did not want. He beat Gaudi Ashulov when he was not meant to, and then when they were actually going to push him after that, he loses to Jacoby. So it's like, what the fuck is this guy's issue? Oh yeah, he's not good. God, how shit was Gaudi Ashulov? Remember that guy? Has he done anything other than getting cut? I know he was signed to GFO. Has Gaudi Ashulov fought? No. I know he signed to GFO, but played that one as far as that went, so good job. But, yeah, Jacoby, just not really good. I think that's a pretty simple idea. Again, Brenton Ribeiro beat you. Are we shocked you're garbage? No. Yeah, I think he'll probably either bounce back against Tomato Can or get beat up again by someone decent. And, yeah, not really much to say. Better than the other cans, like I said, much better than Ursulan, Circea, Bellato, but yeah, he would get, even like Alicana would 30-25 him across the fucking room, so yeah, not very good. Cool Gaudi Ashulov win, nothing like that. Yeah, he sucks. Not really much else to say. Is he from, Shooterbox? No, he's from his own team. Great. Yeah, he sucks. Next. Oh god, it gets worse. A guy who even looked better on Contender Series than Lopez was somehow worse than Lopez. That makes sense. We got a guy who will get cut in 2026 after his third loss in a row, which probably should already have been cut, but, you know, let's use out that deal. We have maybe the biggest, now you both still with one of the worst fucking Contender Series signings of that season. A guy who's not played out one fucking bit how he looked on Contender Series. We have Dayar Nurgazai. You want to talk about a guy who looked good on Contender Series just to be a complete flop? This guy got a beautiful head kick knockout on the show, just to then job out to Brenton Ribeiro after missing weight and getting Tomurad, and then Iran Salty Body have beat him even easier back in August, and now Rafael Tobias is gonna beat him in a few months and get him cut. Yeah, this guy sucks. Not really much to add on to it. Yeah, he's one of the worst. I wouldn't say as bad as Circea or Ursulan, but not much better than those guys. Yeah, he sucks. Again, another guy who got beat by Brenton Ribeiro, and again, Tobias is gonna knock you out the UFC, so not much to say. Dude's fucking garbage. Next, keep doing your little eye twitch bullshit out of the UFC, buddy. Next, God, Kazakhstan really has fucking nothing. Sorry, guys, you deserve better. No. Didn't we talk about a good fighter? Oh yeah, Bekzak. You got Bekzak. There you go. He has to fight every family in MMA. So, sorry. Next. We'll scroll. Probably for the only time we gotta do this. Yeah, kind of the only time we gotta do this. Petrino's a heavyweight, so no point talking about him. So, I guess, yeah, one scroll down, we're already pretty much we are at the bottom. Well, let's fucking, see how long this last row takes. And next we have, speaking of Brunson Ibero, let's talk about him after we talk about the only two guys he can actually fucking beat. So, obviously that means we are next up, we have Brunson Ibero. Yeah, this guy's a fucking joke. What else is there to really say? Yeah, somehow he has 2 wins in UFC against Kyle Machado and Dayar Nurgazai. So that we see how again he beat Bruno to get on the show. So he just beats terrible fighters, Jesus. And actually his losses look very understandable until you really look at them. Zhang Yang, really. Gadzhi Ashulov, really. Murthakano was the only understandable one, and then Omer Sy. What? Really? So, yeah, this guy's fucking garbage, what is there to say? I'm amazed he's still here, but, you know, he hasn't lost 3 in a row. Probably going to in 2026. Won't be shocked if he gets cut, because he's just fucking pathetic, but, you know, if he's not the worst of the cans, again, he can beat Nurgazai and fucking, who's the other jabroni? Oh, Machado. Not that one, but, you know, who knows? Yeah, not much to say. Dude's garbage, one of the worst in a weight class. Sadly, I can't say the worst, which I think says more about how bad this division is. Ribeiro, and yeah, he's garbage. Hopefully cut in 2026. How is he still here? And not very much else to say. Next, we can only go up from there, right? And we actually do. Okay, we actually do go up from there. Next we have a dude who's actually pretty decent, and still up in the air on how decent he is. He did beat Dayar Nurgazai, so it's kind of hard to really gauge his talent there. But, you know, better than nothing. We have the first decent fighter we've talked about since, what, Alakana? We have Iran Salty Baldiev. This dude's interesting. I think this dude could actually be a top 20 guy in the division. He's looked decent, 1-1, and his 1 loss was a debut up at heavyweight, where in my opinion he fucking won. But, you know, and then he looked really good against Nurgazai a few months ago with that Ezekiel choke, which was cool. And now he should beat Julius Walker pretty easily. He's much better than him, so he should be starting his late heavyweight run at 2-0. Probably should be 11-0 and 12-0 by the end of that fight, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, Iran's pretty decent. Can't really, from what I've seen, maybe I struggle a bit to put him over Alakana, because we've seen more from Alakana than we have Salty, but what I've seen, this dude looks fine. Worst case scenario, he's a can like most of the division. Best case, he's pretty decent. You can call him a decent prospect alongside guys like Sterling and Yakiayev. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Again, he should beat Julius Walker. I'd be a little shocked if he doesn't. If he doesn't, then yeah, he just fucking sucks. But he should win that. Decent prospect at that point, and see how far he can go. From Kyrgyzstan, I think Valentina's the only other fighter to come from there, so we got high fucking boots to fill, and yeah, we'll see how far Iran can go. Should be 2-0 at light heavyweight sooner than later, and at that point I'd call him a pretty decent prospect, so, but, see what happens. Not really much else to say there. Now, I've seen a lot from Iran, but I'm excited to see more, and see if he's a decent prospect or just another can in Division 4. Next, and then we got the other very decent prospect who we've seen actually more of, and this guy can look like a decent prospect and also kind of shitty at the same time. And next we have the very up and down, has looked okay, but not in the best way. Kind of the watered down version of the Allberg. Funny enough, Sam Camp. We have Bill Skarsgård himself, Navajo Sterling. Sterling's decent, I guess. He's kind of became a point fighter since Contender Series. Again, I look at him as a watered down Allberg. Kind of fights the exact same way. Former kickboxer, CKB, He's fine. He has looked pretty subpar in his first 3 fights. He beat Tuco without trying too hard. He beat Ivan was looking pretty bad doing it, and Bellato pretty easily. He's far from great, but probably top 20 in the division. Probably gonna get ranked next year because they'll give him a layup like Menafield or fucking Ratchik. But yeah, I don't think he stands a chance. Even Volkan, I think, would expose him pretty badly. He's not the worst, but he's not great either. Point fighter, he has power, but he doesn't throw his hands to fucking show that. He looks like Bill Skarsgård, which take that as you will. And I just look at him as a dollar store Allberg. Or not even a dollar store, just a worst version of Allberg, which is not a complete insult. And again, that still makes it top 20 in the division, but it's like, is that really the best? Just being a worse version of your teammate? So, I don't know, he's nothing great at all, but he's fine. Again, probably get ranked in 2026 off a layup win against like Menafield or Ratchik. And then I think he'll get exposed not long after like Zhang did, so fine. The watered down Allberg. But he's one of the better unranked guys, so did I say more about him or the division? Again, like most of the time, it says about that division, so there you go. Next, now we get to a really bad run of fighters, beginning with the fraud himself, a guy who looked like he was going to be another one of the next guys up, but has completely fallen off. It's funny, at one point him, Ebo, and Zhang look like they're next guys up, and then Zhang lost, Ebo was horrendous, and now this guy's the best of the three, and he's not good at all. We have the fraud, who got frauded, I think this year, maybe it was 2024, but I believe this year, Omer Sai. The Alonzo Menafield victim, good job. Yeah, dude's not that good. He beat up a few cans, Tuco, Jung. He actually looked alright against Jung, beat Hibero, but again he lost to Menafield. Not very good, not really much to really say there. Top 25 in the division just because division's ass, but yeah, I think Sterling's better. Jacoby would probably beat him. Kroot might be as good as him. Alicana has been probably not far off. Iran is probably better. Yeah, again, you're an Alonzo Menafield victim. That says enough as is. Not much to say. He can beat up cans, but I think he's gonna fall short against better guys. Not really much else to say. He got fraud checked by Alonzo Menafield. Next, get the fuck out of here. Can we get to... I already know the next guys are ass, and god, am I right? As next we have the very terrible, at least his brother is gone, but we still got the better brother of the two, question mark. We have the legendary family bloodline, that is the Tafas with Junior Tafa. Maybe the worst set of brothers in MMA history. They could not have less talent if they fucking tried. We probably will talk about his big brother tomorrow, but for little bro, yeah, he's terrible. Only being able to beat Parker Porter and Sean Sharif. You really like bald, fat dudes. So that lost to everyone. Lost to Tuco Tacos. Gonna lose to Billy Alicana. And, yeah, he's terrible. It's a Tafa. What am I meant to fucking say? So, next. Like, it's fucking garbage. The least talented fucking brothers in MMA history. What else am I meant to say? Alicana should beat him out to UFC pretty easily. Not much else to say there. Next. Well, speak of the guy who just beat Tafa, let's get to him real quick. Brendan Allen's bag carrier, because I don't know what the fuck else this guy does, because he's not good. Yeah, he did beat fucking Tafa. A high accomplishment, many would say. After Tafa, we have the guy who beat him, and maybe the funniest name in UFC. Him and Salty Baldia, top tier names. We have Tuco Tacos, the least British looking British guy of all time. Yeah, he was better than Junior Tafa. About it. Mursai beat him easily. Alvo Sterling beat him easily. Zhang beat him brutally. Outside of being Brendan Allen's bag carrier, I don't know what the fuck this guy does. He's going to get destroyed by anyone he fights that's legitimate, unless he fights like Brunson Barrow. Like, if he fights a guy like fucking, Faulty Baldiev or fuck, I don't even know who else would I say would beat him easily. Kroot, someone like that. He's getting his ass beat, but we'll see what they do with him. I put him on the fucking UK card, because people don't, they'd be like, are we sure that guy's British? Because I fucking don't think anyone would expect that. But, you know, whatever. Gotta win in the UFC more than a lot of these cans we've talked about so far can say. He's not that good at all. You know, outside he's being Brendan Allen's bag carrier. I don't know what the fuck he does. And, he's able to conquer the mighty Tafa. He's gonna get conquered in his next fight. He's not that good, and that's about that. So there you go. Next, can we get anyone good? Nope. We got a guy who seems like a nice guy, but is a horrendous fighter. And next we have a guy who's going to lose to Salty Baldiev, which we talked about earlier, the third Walker brother, and you know, maybe the worst one, which says a lot when Johnny is there. We have the very nice guy, but very talentless fighter, Julius Walker. Yeah, this guy's fucking horrendous. I don't know what I'm really meant to say here. He lost to Menafield in one of the worst fights of all time to get fight of the night, and then you looked beyond terrible against Cerkea, the only man to not finish him in a round. Actually, you didn't look that good in that fight. You might have actually lost a round to him if I remember correctly. Yeah, this dude's just not talented. I don't know what else to say. 2 fights in, you looked shitty against Menafield, couldn't finish Cerkea. Gonna lose to Salty Baldiev. You're nice. He seems like a really nice guy, but outside of that, it's like, what else am I meant to say? The dude fucking sucks. So, yeah, you are the only one to not put Cerkea out cold. That should be all they need to know. So, there you go. Salty Baldiev should beat him easily. Not much else to say for the third Walker brother. Somehow the worst one. Didn't think that was possible, but there you go. After that, can we get back to any semblance of talent? No. Long and short answer, no. And we have next a very terrible signing that everyone called terrible the night it happened, and got proven to be terrible after the fact. And his debut took like 2 years to happen. We have the very terrible signing of Kevin Christian. So why did they sign this guy again? For looking subpar on Contender Series and being really tall and beating some random Italian can on Contender Series. Like, I'm confused for being 6 feet 7 inches. And then for Billy Alicano to look like goddamn the best fighter on the planet against him. Ever took a year for him to do the fucking debut. Yeah, what am I gonna say? This dude's fucking garbage. Outside of being tall, there's no fucking talent there. He didn't look good on Contender or anything. He deserved to get signed. Made Billy Alicano look like a superstar. Yeah, this dude sucks. Gonna get cut probably sooner than later, because he never should have been signed to begin with. And, yeah, not much to say. One of the worst Contender 3 signings. Yeah, I think I've said that a lot of times at this point, but he is. And at least he debuted. At least at least he left the club of the guys to not debut from 2024. I can't believe there's still one there. So hopefully he debuts sooner than later. Would have been better off if Christian never debuted, because God, this guy fucking sucks. Outside of being really tall, I don't know why the fuck they signed him, and he'll probably be gone as quickly as he got signed. So fucking terrible. Next. Ooh, finally we break the streak of garbage and get back to somewhat competent fighters as we begin the match. We did have two guys already from Contender Series this year debut, and let's talk about the best one and maybe the best unranked light heavyweight, or maybe the future light heavyweight. The guy who looks like a complete problem in the division, the very long-named and very good, much better Susurkayev. We have Abdurakham Yakyayev. This guy's a problem, in the simple sense of the word. This guy's gonna be a problem in this division, it seems. He's a much better version of Susurkayev. Undefeated in the last two fights, has fought for a combined minute and 3 seconds. Has looked flawless so far, yes, against the bottom of the barrel, but still, this dude could be a problem. This dude could be a real boost to the division. Could fuck some shit up. Dude looks well-rounded, dude looks fucking good. Again, already, I would say one of the best unranked guys. A much better version of Susurkayev. And, yeah, we'll see how far this guy can go. Has a long name, has some talent, from fucking Turkey. Yeah, this guy's an issue. Excited to see him fight again. Haven't seen a lot. Haven't seen him go past the fucking minute mark in a fight, so we'll see where that can change. And, yeah, besides that, it looks pretty damn good. Excited to see him in 2026. And, see how far he can go. Already one of the best of the unranked. Let's see if he can prove that to be true, even more in 2026, and, maybe get a ranking. You never know. Maybe he can save the divisions from the land of shit that it's in, and, see what happens. One of the best unranked guys, probably the best prospect in the division. They might have an issue with this guy, and, see how far he can go. I'm gonna just say that Yakyayev is what people hype Susurkayev up to be, in the simplest sense of the word. He's actually good, though. Well, there you go. Next, we have the other and the last guy who's actually debuted from this year's Contender Series already and had a phenomenal debut in one of the best fights of 2025. We have the very exciting, riding high after one of the best fights of the year. Kind of a prospect, even I kinda can see where his career is gonna go. We have the very decent so far, Iwo Borashevsky. Well, you can't have a much better debut than that, having one of the best fights of the year. Yeah, this dude looks decent, very good first two fights, but I kind of feel like there's going to be a guy who is decent, but he's kind of just going to be a guy who has fun fights and loses. I'm struggling to see him be a guy who, like, climbs the rankings and all that. He's still young, and he could get better. I'm struggling to see a guy who's, like, top 15, top 20 in the division, outside more, instead of a guy who's just very fun, decent, and can beat bad fighters, but I don't think he's going to be able to beat higher-end guys, but we'll see. Looked good in his first two fights, but we'll see if he can, how he builds on top of that in 2026, in the sophomore year. Hopefully he doesn't try and one-up that Ebo fight, because I don't think you could, and, go from there. I'm gonna just say, only seen him fight for a combined, fucking 89, 909 seconds, so not seeing a lot. Looked decent so far. See how he continues the streak, and maybe he is a top 15 future, like, top prospect. I'm thinking more like just an entertaining, fun fighter, but we'll see. Now I'm going to just say, a Polish power been passed down from Jan to Iwo, maybe. See what happens. He took out one of the eyes in Ebo. Can he take out the other eye in Ion? I think that's a clear fight to make, so do it, and see how far this kid can go. Is he just a fun fighter, or is he a legit prospect? Time will tell. And there you go. That's all the guys who haven't debuted, or all the guys who have debuted. To look at the quick thoughts on the 3 guys who haven't debuted yet. For Tobias, who actually has his debut, but talked about him earlier, he should beat Nergazai pretty easily in a few months. Looked decent. Not seeing a whole lot from him that screams like future, but he looked fine. Better than a lot of the guys we've talked about. And again, should beat Nergazai pretty easily. Luke Fernandez, I think the owner of the quickest finish of the season. Only needed a 1-2 to get to win. Looked good. Can't look bad in a fight where the other guy doesn't throw a punch. Yeah, see how far he can go. Oldest of the signed guys here, I think, or the LFA champion, Cage Warriors, Fury, whatever. Guy has a bit of hype on him. See how far he can go. Decent addition to the roster, it seems. And then lastly, the guy we saw last on Contender Series, Levy Rodriguez Jr., guy who beat Freddie Vidal and saved him stanking up the place, as Dana would say. Probably the weakest of the 5 guys signed. He doesn't look terrible. I doubt he's gonna do much of anything in the division outside just be another body. I think these 4 are much better. You never know. You don't know. Yeah, Jordan, he wasn't expected to match. I think he might have been expected to beat Vidal. You know, here's what it is there. Could be wrong. Maybe Levy's the best of the 5. I fucking doubt it. But we'll see. We'll see. Good win on Contender Series. Tree's damn debut. And, there you go. Not much else to say there. So yeah, very good cast of Contender Series. 1 really good prospect, 3 interesting ones, and 1 who I'm not super high on, but we'll see how far he goes. Pretty good way to cap off a very dreadful division. Just take a quick look, make sure I didn't skip over anyone. Middleweight, middleweight. Topology, if you'd like to load today, thank you. Middleweight. He actually has been cut. Obviously, he wasn't on the roster watch. Thank you, Topology. Felipe got cut he got cut right after the yawn, so I don't know why they're still acting like he's on the roster. He was cut, literally. And then that's so cool. That's everyone. So that is what, about 44 fighters on the dot, wouldn't it be? I guess if you really want to say close to like 39, 40 of the guys who are definitely going to get cut in the upcoming months, like for K and all that, so yeah, there you go. But yeah, not really much else to say to go over the normal few things, beginning with who are my favorite fighters in the division going into the year. Obviously Pierre, but he's heavyweight. Yuri, Khalil's hard not to not like. Typology, can you stop being a dickhead for 5 minutes? Thank you. Buka's cool. Baldia is a funny name. Yakiayev looks to be pretty decent. Yeah, other than that, not much. Who are my top hated guys, or my hate watch? Always Jamal Hill. That's pretty simple. Fuck Jamal. Anyone else I actually dislike? I don't like Ankalaev, but it's like, okay, he's decent. I don't mind seeing Ratchet lose, to be honest. I don't like Sai. Blotto is definitely hateable, and I do hate him. Hibero's always fun to cheer against. Tafas are always funny to cheer against, so yeah. Jamal and Blotto definitely at the top of the hate list, though. Who are the prospects going into the new year? There's only like a few worth a damn, I would say, who have debuted so far, not counting the other 3 who haven't. Yagiayev for sure, Salty Baldiev maybe, Sterling, obviously, I guess Buka's a prospect. I'd probably say those 3 to 4, and I'd really say Yakiayev is the top one to keep an eye on, but again, yeah, Ewo, Iran, Navajo, so a few okay names, so there you go. who I think is gonna for sure be cut by the end of the year. I can name 2 right off the bat for you. Christian might save himself because he probably won't fight that often. Ivan's gone for sure. Lopez, probably not. Tafa, I think more than likely. Barrow, hopefully. Ebo, probably. Probably though, they're Ratchik and Krylov are probably the biggest who are probably gone, so there are some definitely some garbage to be put out in light heavyweight, so hopefully they get taken out sooner than later. And then lastly, what fights am I most hyped for going into the year? Not many, because it's light heavyweight. Obviously, Yuri Alberg is going to be cool for the vacant belt. Reyes Walker is just going to be entertaining. Jamal Hill losing will always be cool. Mirzakhanov will be cool to see him hopefully climb the rankings a bit more. Buka and Krylov's kind of cool. Who else? Digspec, definitely, again, I'm talking about him a lot in the last few months, but Yakiayev was intriguing to see. I'm intrigued in Salty Baldiev, see what he can do. Outside of that, I could care less about most of these fucking clowns, so, cause it's just a really bad division. And lastly, I already think this is an answered question, but I guess I'll ask it anyway, because I have every other weight class. Will Pierre be champion by the end of the year? No. He's not going to be champion by the end of the month because he didn't vacate, so... I guess I can ask in a better way. If he were to stay in the division, do I think he would keep the belt all year? Probably not. I think he probably would slip up eventually. If he stayed to a normal PR schedule of fighting. But, you know, I never know. I'm more likely to beat Alberg, but... and Yuri again, but who knows what happens after that, so... I don't know, but yeah, him going to heavyweight is intriguing, and it's going to open up the title picture to a few guys, and I think the next 2 title fights in the division are going to involve these 3, this fight, and then the winner fights Hank, so we'll see. I guess will one of those 3 be holding the belt by year's end? More than likely, so see what happens. There you go, only 90 minutes, not 2 hours or 3 hours like some other weight classes. Very happy about that. I'm far from upset about that. And, yeah, very cool. Very cool to not be doing an hour, fucking long, like 3 hour long thing, so there you go. Not cool that the weight class fucking sucks, but what can you do? And, there you go, that's 205 for you. Was it shitty? Yes, but it's done, and there you go. Tomorrow, you think you've seen shitty? Wait till we get to heavyweight. So I'm not looking forward to that, but it is what it is, and should be intriguing. We're almost done with this series. Final 4, final male weight class. We're almost done. We'll have this done by Monday will be the last one. Women's bantamweight will be dropped, and then we're done. So I'll do a few more of these. I enjoy them, even if sometimes it's hard to, either because it takes forever or the weight class is shitty. But the price you pay for doing something like this, which I enjoy doing. So there you go. A few more. Hope y'all are enjoying these, and I know we're all gonna enjoy talking about the blobs. I mean the heavyweights tomorrow, so can't wait. And there you go. Not very much else to say. With that being said, not very much more to add. Another bad weight class done, even worse than middleweight, and we got one even worse than light heavyweight tomorrow. So I'll get prepared to do that, and might even be shorter than this video somehow, so we'll see. But yeah, not very much else to say. It's nice to actually still have my voice by the end of one of these. And there you go. I guess the only thing left to say now is, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 200 subs goal by the end of 2026. And unless I'm going to say something which I don't believe I am, this weight class fucking sucks. I think is the main thing to say. And yeah, outside of a few good fighters, I think I only call it like 10 to maybe 15 fighters are good. Outside of that, bad weight class. Gets worse tomorrow with heavyweight. can't wait. And yeah, what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna believe I am Shama. I just don't even know it ain't his weight class anymore. So that being said, everything else to be said is, as always, RX out. Good vibes only.